Hey everyone, Happy New Year and greetings from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. New year, and it's time to start our new release show back up once again after kind of a busy holiday couple of weeks here at the store. But now that we're back into it, we've got lots of great stuff planned for 2024. A quick note though, on our website, we still have radiowastelandrecords.com if you'd like to go there and visit, but we no longer have access to that full list of everything that's coming out in each and every week. We're working on something to try to get that list back in some way, shape, or form for you to check out. But in the meantime, you can just check out the website and see what we have going on here at the store. And we'll continue to cover the highlights of new releases for each of the weeks as we head into the first part of the year. So that's what we're going to do. It's not a big list starting us off, but still some very cool stuff. So let's take a look at some of the new reissues coming out for Friday, the 5th of January, 2024. Again, just reissues so far, not any new releases to speak of, but as the year goes on, I'm sure we're going to get into some very cool stuff. Well, the beginning of the year in January, as always, Rhino Records kicks off their Start Your Ear Off Right campaign. And they do this with some colored vinyl variations of some neat reissues. This year, they're all over the map, but at least they're spreading this out through the month of January. And we do have a cool one to start us off with the 5th, with this reissue of Alive, She Cried from The Doors. Now, I'm seeing a little discrepancy in our description as far as the color of this vinyl. One says it's on clear vinyl, but our order sheet says that this is coming on translucent emerald vinyl. Either way, it's still going to be a cool colored vinyl for The Doors' 40th anniversary of Alive, She Cried. And like much of these Rhino Start Your Ear Off Right records, it's coming in at a decent price point. This one listing for about $25. Also on the SYEOR front is this self-titled one from Yes. This one coming on cobalt colored vinyl and also listing for about $25. Then we've got a double LP coming from Rhino. This is the Velvet Underground and their infamous Live at Max's Kansas City, and this is an expanded version of that original LP. This one a double LP version, so this got some extra stuff on there. And with the double LP, you're getting two different colors of vinyl. One of them is on orchid and the other is on magenta. But because it is a double LP, it's also a little bit more expensive. This one coming in at a list price of about $35. And then included this year in the Rhino SYEOR stuff is some of the Rhino Now Playing series. Now these are a very low price point, new compilation greatest hits or best of albums for several different bands that Rhino introduced last year. This one though is Foghat's Now Playing, so it is a new greatest hits album, and it's coming on translucent tan vinyl. And like the previous Now Playing series, it's coming in at even a more affordable price point. Suggested retail on this Foghat Now Playing is only $20. Same thing with this America Now Playing, also part of the SYEOR campaign here in January. This one's coming on Coke Bottle Clear Vinyl and also lists for about $20. Then Rhino kind of switches up the genre a little bit with this next Now Playing series. This one coming from Eddie Rabbit, kind of a greatest hits from him as well. This one coming on grape colored vinyl, but it still has that nice suggested retail price point of only $20. And then this one's kind of a curveball with given all of the other stuff in the SYEOR campaign, but we're getting a reissue of After School by Melanie Martinez. Now this is an EP version, and the price point's still coming in at $20. This one's coming on something called Orchid Splatter colored vinyl. But again, this is the After School EP version from Melanie Martinez. And then finally, a real oddity in the Rhino campaign for January. And this is the soundtrack to The Three Amigos. Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. You remember that movie, right? Well, I really have never seen this soundtrack show up anywhere before, so why the heck not now? This one does not appear to be on any colored vinyl for some reason, at least our description doesn't say so, but it does come in at a suggested retail price of about $25. So if you're a big fan of the Three Amigos movie, and I'm sure the campfire song is in here as well with all the animals singing, if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. So that'll be here for you. The Three Amigos original soundtrack coming from Rhino for their Start Your Ear Off Right campaign. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Rhino is spreading out their Start Your Ear Off Right stuff throughout the month of January. Other titles that we can look forward to in the weeks to come include a couple from the Grateful Dead, some from the Nuggets, original artifacts from the first psychedelic era, couple volumes of that, something from Black Sabbath, Stevie Nicks, Curtis Mayfield, and Zapp and Roger, plus a couple of more. So stay tuned in the weeks to come. We'll have a lot more from the Rhino Start Your Ear Off Right campaign that we'll tease for you. Also from Rhino, but for some reason not included in the SYEOR stuff, but also in the Now Playing section of things, is this release from Seals & Croft, Now Playing by Seals & Croft. It's got 10 of the group's best soft rock hits as part of this Rhino's Now Playing series that we mentioned. This one also at that great price point of $20. And I do believe this is on black vinyl. Onward to the other reissues for the 5th of January 2024, and a couple of very cool ones if you are a fan of early 80s alternative music, like I am. We've got a pair from the group Guadalcanal Diary, including their first album, reissued Walking in the Shadow of the Big Man, this one coming on mint green vinyl. Now, if you're unfamiliar, Guadalcanal Diary was formed in Marietta, Georgia in 1981, and they were tagged as part of the jangle pop movement, and they're often compared to another Georgia band you may have heard of, this one being REM. Mainly due, in fact, though, because they shared a producer by the name of Don Dixon, who worked with REM on a lot of their early stuff. Back to Guadalcanal, though, after an independent debut EP in 1983, the band released this, their first full-length album, Walking in the Shadow of the Big Man, on DB Records. They then quickly became a college radio favorite and remained a very respected alternative classic band. So the first LP from Guadalcanal Diary, Walking in the Shadow of the Big Man, on mint green vinyl, this one listing for about $27. Then we skip one Guadalcanal Diary album and go to their third and arguably most popular album. This one is called 2x4, and it's coming on pink and yellow swirl vinyl. So for this, their third album, released originally in 1987, Guadalcanal Diary re-teamed with their producer Don Dixon for this album 2x4, and the song Litany, Life Goes On, was given regular exposure on MTV's underground video show 120 Minutes and became a very big alternative radio favorite. Again, I will attest to that. I played this sucker a lot back in my college radio days. This album, by the way, remains one of the band's most popular and is jam-packed with memorable tunes, from the rocking Where Angels Fear to Tread to the experimental Lips of Steel to the soft melody of Little Birds. So this newly remastered reissue includes the first vinyl appearance of their cover of the Beatles song And Your Bird Can Sing as well, which was previously only a CD-only bonus track. So that is a cool addition to this great album by Guadalcanal Diary. 2x4 on pink and yellow swirl vinyl, this one coming in also at a list price of $27. Again, highly recommended stuff if you're a fan of REM. This early jangle pop stuff is great from the early 1980s. Moving forward with the reissues, we've got an interesting one from Type O Negative, and this is a reissue of Origin of the Feces. In 1992, goth metal greats Type O Negative released their second album, and for the first time ever in North America, it's now being pressed on vinyl. So this version features the original censored cover. You can kind of guess what's behind there. And by the way, I'm sorry I'm chuckling. It comes with a peelable scratch and sniff sticker surprise. Again, I'll let your imagination run wild with what that is. The track list includes the band's bonus track cover of Black Sabbath's Paranoid as well. Additionally, it comes packaged with an exclusive 11x17 fold-out poster of the 1493 painting, The Dance of Death. So, Type O Negative's reissue of Origin of the Feces, double LP on colored vinyl. You can see what color that is as well. Listing fairly heavy, but it's got a cool packaging thing going on here. But this one lists at a suggested price of about $55. Speaking of waste, we've got one from Municipal Waste, the heavy metal band, called Hazardous Mutation, a reissue of their 2005 album. And our description says that this is reeking of punk attitude and bursting with up-tempo thrashcore enthusiasm. Municipal Waste ride that divide between old-school mosh and simple hardcore purity with an updated take on their timeless sound. Municipal Waste's reissue of Hazardous Mutation from Earache Records, this one coming in at a list price of $35. And then finally, we're switching gears big time with a box set from Charles Mingus. This is Mingus Takes Manhattan, the complete Birdland dates 1961 through 1962. Our description says that Mingus Takes Manhattan collects together Charles Mingus' run of dates at the world-famous Birdland in New York, released here officially for the first time ever in conjunction with the Mingus estate. At the center of this new packaging is a 44-page booklet with a foreword by Christian McBride, a highly informative 15,000-word essay from Brian Priestley, and a new interview with Charles McPherson giving context and inside information to the dates and the time of the recording. All of this illustrated with a very slick design and some rare photographs throughout. So the Mingus Takes Manhattan Complete Birdland Dates box set, 4 LPs in total plus that booklet, coming in at a suggested list price of $190. And that is a very quick check of some of the new reissue releases headed our way for Friday the 5th of January, 2024. It's going to take some time getting used to saying that, I know. If you see something you'd like and you're local, just contact us here at Radio Wasteland and we will put in a pre-order for you. And again, we're working on something to get the full list to you with the new design of our website. But in the meantime, please feel free to visit us online at radiowastelandrecords.com. And as always, if you're new to the channel or if you like what we're doing, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know whenever we put new video content up. Until next week, this has been Jim from Radio Wasteland. Thanks so much for watching.